From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast of sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod, and now the fourth being Threads. Now let's crack open a cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. Don't forget, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out podcast. Catch them every Tuesday for Singo, Thursdays for Bingo. We are just about a week off from our bingo night last week, which was a whole lot of fun. Gave away some tickets, had a little bit of a dance off as always, and it was just a great time. But today we have got the POPAs, the first annual POPAs. The Pucks Out Awards are here. We've got a bunch of great awards to give out. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon and Twitch to support the show. How you this week, bud?
I am doing well, man. Like you said, we had a great time at Mayday for our bingo hosting. A new host along with us and gave us the, Adriana, if you're listening, she gave us the Royal Star treatment to the point where we're like, we aren't who you think we are. We had to let her know.
Do you mean Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly was the new. I'm saying Adriana told her to.
Oh, okay,
Ariana.
okay.
I said Adriana. Ariana told her to. I was never referring to Kelly specifically with a name, but told us to, and it became we had to let her know we are not who you think we are. I don't know if there was a mix up in the itinerary. We are. Just regular folk. We just like to be treated normally. So the staycation was great. Your crawfish boil was fun. Obviously that was from last week, but my staycation, everything ran together. So, hit some Dave and Buster's, saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so we can discuss that next week. Lots going on. But had a good time. How about yourself, brother?
Great, man. Had an absolutely great time at bingo. Like you're saying, I think Kelly was expecting Vincent Chase and said she got Johnny Drama.
Right. Well, no, he got Turtle and E is who showed Johnny
Honestly,
Drama. At least it's like better for like us as people, but in like terms of like people come to see, like Johnny Drama was at least like a star in his day. We're Turtle and E is really who we are, Bob, as people, which is again much better personality wise. But in terms of, I think Johnny Drama, it would have been like if we were like Kathy Griffin there. That would be like a Johnny Drama equivalent, which is like garbage, but like pretty cool for Mayday, right? I mean,
that's still a major name.
That's a name. Yeah, exactly. That's a name. And in Murfreesboro, our name may ring out, but probably for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like if you said it out and about, like bar owners would come out of the woodwork and be like, "Yeah, I know that guy. Yes, he is actually. He has a lifetime ban. He is well known in this town, sir." So. But no, it was such a great time. Great beers as always. A really, really good turnout. What was that? Ozzy was setting out 12 tables, and I was like, all right, well, we'll try that. We ended up with about 15, 16 tables out. So definitely a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Also going on, I kind of started my new job. TBI is taking hell a long time in my background check, so I went to the first coaches meeting. But until TBI gets done with their part, I'm kind of like in a holding pattern, which is kind of annoying. But hey, it is what it is. Let's do a quick fit check. I'm just rocking the Fitzmagic jersey and the Conquer COVID-19 hat today.
Nice. I went with Pucks the first annual Popas, went with the Pucks Out tee, rocking that.
Nice, nice.
And then as a celebratory thing, what do? We throw the catfish here in Nashville, so I throw the catfish hat on, so we can celebrate these winners and or losers depending on which award you win or don't win. So
yeah, I was thinking about rocking the tuxedo, at least in the
I
upper
almost
half,
did. I
today
actually
for this.
I actually did a not very thorough, but a quick search when I was changing for my clip-on tuxedo bow tie.
Yeah,
I felt like
so did
that
I.
was right.
Yeah.
I felt like that was the right move. Like putting on a real tie, even fake with the t-shirt, is still probably a little too formal for the Popas.
Yeah.
What I would hope
Yeah.
that one day is that we can get Justin Timberlake to host it SB style. That's the dream, Bob. That's when I know I'm quitting right after that. If we ever our award ceremonies gets emceed by Justin Timberlake, I'll tell you, Bob, that was it. That was pretty much all that I joined the game for. I'm out after that.
Yeah, I reached out to his people. He turned it down. The only person who accepted was Robin Thicke, and I was like, I think we're good.
Yeah. No, we're okay. That's no. Was Kathy Griffin available? I mean, that would be that's a better.
What kind of dumb
Top,
question is that? Of course, Kathy Griffin is available.
Carrot Top, anybody but Robin Thicke. Maybe get like DJ Khaled. Nobody says any word. We don't know who's being presented awards and stuff.
No, that's the last award.
Sir, no. We have to like play the music on the MC to get him off the stage.
I don't know if I've ever told you the story from the wine and liquor fest that I went to with Megan and her family. I got very, very, very drunk. And on the elevator while leaving, I just randomly yelled, "Another one!" and like scared the random lady that was in the elevator with us, almost had a heart attack when I just yelled that. They were like, "Why did you?" I was like, "I don't remember yelling that, but I probably had a good reason to yell it."
Hey, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't be just catching my catchphrases, dude. If I wanna be drunk as shit and say another one, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. So go ahead and lock that down. I'm also thinking though, like for our playoff music, let's not do like fun elevator music. I think it should be just like straight death metal. Like get off the stage, or we're gonna keep playing this. I don't want to say the wrong band name and metalheads come after me. So I'm not going to say anybody specific, but just something really hardcore. Like it can even be a playoff song, like a baseball. They get to choose it. They get to choose what song that they're using from a select genre of music.
Yeah. But all right, let's jump straight into the Popas. It's all we're doing today. So it's a very special episode. Let's start off with the opener of the night, the secondary assists. We had, so obviously this is not a voting one. This is just who's in the lead. So in third place with 33 secondary assists.
I think in like award shows, I'm sorry to stop you. I think in award shows and things of this nature, he would not be in third place.
Nominees.
The nominee, but the third, he would be the second runner up.
Oh, okay, sure. The second runner up, Nikita Kucherov.
That's correct.
The first runner-up or the runner-up?
Yes, first runner-up. You're correct. You're on it.
Yeah.
You can do a pageant.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey. That's also who we could get.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Eric Carlson with also 33. And
so really both of them
also known as the winner.
Both of those are actually second runners. They're tied for third.
Yeah. And not the runner-up, also known as the winner, is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with 39. That's a good number from RNH.
We really should have got a cheer on the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
should have had a drop for that.
Yeah,
I'll just do it. I'll do it in the background. I'll say,
yeah.
It's crowd going wild.
Maybe I'll put it. Maybe I'll add it. Maybe I'll add it in post. Listener, if you don't hear claps, it's because I got too lazy and didn't want to do it.
And it's just me cheering.
Now the Yeah. I'll just copy what you just did and just throw it
Right.
throughout.
Perfect. I don't have to continue
yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. In my opinion, honestly, my favorite award of the night
It's a
is
great
the
award.
unneeded, in parentheses, goalie award. This goes out to the guy who really, he was there for motivational support for the starter goalie.
Well, he's
Um,
filling a roster
so
spot. He had to be there.
yeah,
Legally had to be there.
yeah, yeah. They had an extra team hat, and somebody has to wear that on the bench.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so we have two guys who have almost identical stats, identical games played almost. And that is Kevin Lankian from the Nashville Predators and David Rittich from the Winnipeg Jets.
Can I give
But the thing
can
is,
I
we
give
only
the
have one
award winner?
trophy.
Can I give the award,
Yes,
Bob?
yes, you go right ahead.
I don't know if we
Yes, you
decided on I don't know if we decided on our last decision. But I think we felt that they were so unneeded that we're actually just not going to give out the award this year. We're going to hold on to
Yes.
it. They were so close that they have both become unneeded in this contest. So if you're good, I'm actually going to continue to hold on to the POPA for the most.
Yeah, I think that works perfectly.
Agreed? Perfect.
Agreed.
Well, then
agreed.
there is no
And
award,
if,
no
yeah,
POPA award
yeah.
winner for the unneeded goalie.
And since neither of them are winners, will security please escort them out? Now we move on to
Yes.
best
No,
promotional night.
Oh, they didn't get it. I'm sorry, Bobby. I was just told by security they were actually not even allowed in. They said they were not on the list, apparently. So no need.
Yeah.
They do not need to be escorted out. They are already on the streets.
All right. So why don't you tell us about our next award?
Excellent. This one was a more difficult award to pinpoint and find actual nominees for this award. So if we miss some, if your local stadium, feel free to let us know. But the two we have are from the Flyers, where they played the Minnesota Wild, and it was an all decades throwback. We've seen the 90s, we've seen the 2000s, the 70s, the 80s. They just probably cleaned house. We're going to get everybody involved and doing all decades. So that was your first nominee, folks. And then your second nominee is actually a game that hasn't happened, but it was released for the 2023-2024 season. It is the Winnipeg Jets will be hosting Moose Night against the Nashville Predators. So I'm going to be honest with you, Bob. I am not sure what it entails. Do people? And honestly, I could have looked it up and found out, but honestly, my imagination was great. Is it for people that own moose, or for people that have been attacked by a moose? Is it what specific, or only you have to be a moose to come to the game, which would honestly make that would be a clear cut winner. We wouldn't have even needed to talk about anything else. You got something for me, Bob?
I knew what it was when you said it. I thought you knew as well. There is going to be a lot of moose themed things.
Did not.
But their farm team is the Manitoba Moose, so I believe it is a night for them. Kind of like like the Preds do, like an
less cool.
Night.
Less cool.
For the sake of this, we're going to assume that they are giving free tickets to all moose.
We're going to honestly, if a moose asked, they would probably give them tickets. You know how they say sometimes, Bob, that knowledge is power. This knowledge was not power. It actually has really hurt. And I'm honestly disappointed to give out the award this year for the best promotional night to the Winnipeg Jets for Moose Night. When I voted, I didn't have all of the information, folks at home, and I would have voted for All Decades Night. But Moose Night, you have won the first first POPA that is I don't know what the word was an actual choice. There was a vote on this. So congratulations. Yeah. Weirdly enough, the Winnipeg Jets to win the first ever voting POPA. That's where that's at, Bob. We'll move on to another difficult
yeah,
award to give out because it was it was harder to locate the worst goal. The worst goal could have been really anything. Just if we would have located it, a bad goal in itself, a goal in which somebody scored on their own goal. Obviously, that's a bad goal. There were numerous options for us to find, but all we found were two videos of individual players scoring on their own goal. So for the first nominee, it was Jacob Silverberg for the Anaheim Ducks, scored a goal to put the other team up 3-1 in a close battle in the regular season. It was a great shot. He was just trying to send it to the outside, and it was just a beauty, right into the net. And then we have the Battle of the Sebastian Ahos. Sebastian Aho, as you know, plays for the one that you know at home, more likely, is the one that plays for the Carolina Hurricanes. As you'll remember, they played the New York Islanders in the first round of the playoffs this season, where the Islanders have their own defenseman named Sebastian Aho. Well, a playoff goal was scored by Sebastian Aho for the Carolina Hurricanes. However, it was the defenseman Sebastian Aho for the Islanders. So not a really great playoff goal that he had there. Bobby, the award for worst goal, the POPA goes to Sebastian Aho from the New York Islanders. Please, Sebastian, come up and get your POPA. It is yours, sir. The Silverberg goal was in itself probably a worst goal on himself, as it was just like a beautiful shot. But the Aho goal happening in the playoffs is what edged it out. So we 100%. Will move on into our next nomination. Bobby, do you want to take us in to that?
Yeah, we have our biggest hit, and the parameter of this is also it has to be a clean hit. No dirty hits for this one. We watched a bunch of hits, and it came down to pretty clear choice, in my opinion. I think in Brandon as well. And that is the Jacob Trouba on Nazem Kadri hit. It was dirty in the best way. It was a clean hit, but oof.
It was bone.
I felt it when I watched it.
It was bone shaking. Yeah, it was bone shaking, man. It just the absolute it was Newton's laws, like just all three of them, just like all at one time. You said it bad. You felt it when you saw it hit. The other two nominees were great. Matthew Tkachuk's hit on Jack Eichel absolutely blew him up. Keegan Kolsar's hit on, if I can remember correctly, I believe it was on Matthew Tkachuk. He absolutely destroyed him. But I think we were both in agreement. Everything that we saw was a distant second. It would have been harder for us to choose a second place than it was to pick that winner. Some honorable mentions. I saw Ovi absolutely blast some dude into the bench. That was a glorious hit. A couple good Racco Gudis hits. You always, good for one or two of those. There was actually two Tkachuk hits that could have made the cut. So, but it's Jacob Trouba. come receive your POPA, sir. Please don't hit anybody on your way up. It's a clean hit. This is outside the parameters of play. So you did the heavy leg work on this next nomination, Bob.
Yeah, we've got the worst best guy of the average. It is the worst guy in like the top 6 who gets a lot of playing time, so he's the worst of the best, but also pretty average, maybe. And that would be Mr. Eric Stahl with 72 games played, 14 goals, 29 points, a -5 plus minus, and almost 15 minutes a game. Doing the legwork on this, there was a lot of guys. We couldn't really do D-men because they get a lot of playing time, and it was hard to differentiate that.
Well, and
for
they're not in the
stats.
top 6. So.
Yeah. And then, a lot of times you had to find a decent amount of games played. So I did a minimum of 60 games played, no more than 15 goals, less than 30 points. Because I think when you hit that 30 goal mark, it's when you kind of take the next step up into the next tier.
Sure.
And I minus, I didn't really care too much about, but yeah.
No, I think you hit the nail on the
Eric
head.
Stahl fits that.
Yeah, he absolutely does. Kind of exactly what we're looking for. We know that he provides a team so much more than just point scoring, but that wasn't what this was about. This guy gets to play with the big dogs, and his stats don't show it. Really good leg where I like the win here. So congratulations, Mr. Stahl. I believe Carolina, is that correct? Carolina Hurricanes.
Ooh,
there's so many stalls.
He's a free agent right now, I believe.
Plays where?
I believe he currently is an unrestricted free agent.
Sure, but he wasn't when he made this happen. Florida. Okay. The stalls are everywhere. So some are dumber than others, right, Bob? All right. Moving into our next nomination. Again, a very difficult award to research. I found there wasn't. This is the best playoff beard. Some years are better than others. Some years you have a lot of competing beards. You had those Brent Burns years where that bad boy's getting caught up in his skate and stuff. Well, we haven't had one of those monster beards in a good little bit. But probably the best playoff beard that we could locate was Matthias Ekholm for the Oilers. It was a nice shaggy guy. I didn't get to grow it too much because they went home. But Matthias Ekholm, former Predator. I'm sure there's autographs and behind you somewhere from him, and I know I've got some back here. So congratulations, Mr. Ekholm. This is the closest so far the Preds have come to winning an award, except for Lankian. But again, he did not win. He was not allowed in. So congratulations, Matthias Ekholm. Best save, one of the better awards. A lot of great saves. But very easily was narrowed down to 3 that I was able to find.
Yes.
James 100%. Reimer, we nominated that on the show. I think we talked about it. It was an absolutely gross scorpion save. He got it with his skate. Aiden Hill, again, a nominee throughout the podcast. He absolutely dominated his cross body save with his stick in the playoffs, saving a goal against the Panthers. Absolutely nasty. And then early on in the season, Alex Stalock from the Chicago Blackhawks reaches out, makes an unbelievable paddle save on Nathan McKinnon. Absolutely nasty. So let me go into the envelopes here and see who we can pull out as a winner. It looks like we have both chosen the Aiden Hill save. sensational stick save across the net when he was out to save a goal in the playoffs. In the playoffs, the Stanley Cup Finals, absolutely gross. A very easy winner due to the situation, when it happened, how it happened. If it was just the save itself that we made the decision, I think the James Reimer one was pretty gross with the skate. But congratulations, Aiden
Yeah.
Hill. You have won yourself a Stanley Cup, and now probably more importantly, you have won a first annual Best Save POPA award. Congratulations, sir.
That's huge. I mean, that'll be on his end table for a long time. Not his trophy cabinet, but his end table. It'll make a good thing to like build on top of papers
End table.
and stuff.
We have
yeah.
realistic beliefs, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't do
next we move
trophies.
into
Maybe we do like a
minutes.
sweater.
Yeah. So let's
We'll
see,
just
we've
give him
got
like an actual
1,
sweater.
2, 3, yeah. Yeah. All right, so we've got fighting minutes. We'll start with the third runner-up, which is Tanner Jeannot with 11, 7 minutes away for at home. Austin Watson at the second runner-up at 12 in total. Patrick Maroon is the runner-up, also at 12. 5 away, 7 at home. And the winner is Nicholas Desloriers, 14 minutes, 9 away, 5 at home. So congrats to you, Nicholas.
Congrats.
For,
it's really
lucky. We love to see it.
It's really lucky for Austin Watson that they're counting his fight with his people at home. He had 6 of them. He had 6 domestic calls on himself this year. That's too much, Austin. You got to calm down, dude. Yeah, that was a Austin Watson is a bad person joke. If you didn't get it, Bob, you only chuckled, so you can cut it.
I
If it's going to make me look stupid on the award show.
Why don't you take us into the next one?
Just one that kind of really started it all off. The best Selly. We only had the one that we actually initially nominated. Could not, again, very difficult to locate on the internet these days. But this one is the Montreal Canadiens. Michael Pezzetta scores on a shootout goal, and he rode his stick as if it was a broomstick pretty decent ways across the ice. And so really what started all, I mean, you created a whole entire award system, sir, just by having a really dope celebration. So congratulations to Mr. Pezzetta. If we were giving out Lifetime Achievement Awards, we would be giving one to you for your honor of the Popas. So thank you, sir. And then best goal, why don't you go ahead? Either I'll take us and you take the final award, or I will take the final award and you can take the best goal award, Bob.
I'll go ahead and take best goal. We had a bunch of different ones to look at here. We had Nathan McKinnon, we had the Thomas Tatar, Trevor Zegras, and of course an honorable mention must be made every year for a goalie goal, which was Linus Ullmark. But after much deliberation, which was probably a solid, I would say solid 45 seconds of deliberation, and watching these videos, we have come up with what is clearly the best goal this season, and that was Kent Johnson's Michigan-style goal from the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was absolutely filthy.
Gross.
And part of the decision was also as a big FU to people who don't like the Michigan-style goals because you don't like fun. So suck on that.
Right.
Ken Johnson, congratulations
on
the best goal
it's a part of the game.
Year.
Congrats. Yeah, all those goals were sick. Tatar shot his. It went off of the goalie. He then catches it, puts it down, scores really quickly. I think that was one of my favorites, but probably not the best. Kent Johnson won. Trevor Zegras' goal between the legs, absolutely nasty. McKinnon, always nasty. Love the pick, though, of Kent Johnson. Congratulations, sir. Columbus Blue Jackets on the board for Popas. And now for what we consider our Heisman, the World Star Best Fight Award. We have 5 nominees this year. Technically, I guess that would be 10 nominees because it takes 2 to tango, as they say, Bobby, as they say. Evander Kane fought Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk's all over the board today. A beautiful fight. We have Tanner Jeannot and Riley Stillman, 2 guys that had just recently been moved to a new team. It was actually difficult to research and find the specific fight video because these guys have squared off before when they were both on different teams. So that is out. I did double check myself. Connor Dewar and Ryan Donato. That was more of not a straight up fight as much as it was a big grouping that these two kind of went at it in. Now, not as clean and not as straight up of a fight, but definitely worth mentioning. Jordan Bennington and I say versus Ryan Hartman / Fleury, but really it was Ryan Hartman scoring a goal, Bennington assaulting Hartman with a stick, and then making sure that the ref was in between them when Fleury comes down the ice. Because at this point, not only is Fleury, Fleury, but he's got old man strength now. You know what I'm saying? Bennington knew I gotta wrap this up. I'm gonna get ragdolled like I'm at a gas station or something by some old man that tucks his sweatshirt in or something. So that was more of a group. And then funny enough, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, not the Tampa Bay Lightning specific player, the entire Lightning squad fighting the Vegas Golden Knights, the entire squad. The fight was more categorized as a brawl. It had reminders of the Yankees and Red Sox fights that we all love. You remember when Pedro Martinez threw that old man down? I mean, it was great. It was a great team brawl. And so they both, as a whole, got nominated. There was 122 penalty minutes handed out, Bob, during the exchange.
It's wild.
But funny enough, despite all the fun that happened in that group battle, all the fun that happened in the Bennington Hartman assault, Tanner Jeannot and Riley Stillman gave us what we both agreed was the best straight up fight. And while Tanner Jeannot absolutely threw those heavy rock-like hands and dominated the fight, it was a joy. It was an absolute joy to watch. So again, another former Pred coming in clutch, taking a win home. But that's not to say that Riley Stillman didn't have a big part of this. So congratulations to both of you fellas, being the first Heisman World Star Best Fight Award winner in POPA history. If they were actually here on site and we asked them what they were doing, they would definitely say, we're going to Dave & Buster's. Because obviously we couldn't get Disneyland
they're
to
going to fight
us. Dave & Buster's is more. Dave & Buster's is more of our speed, and Dave & Buster's encourage grown adults fighting. So I mean, it's the perfect. Honestly, we need to talk to Dave & Buster's and see if they'll sponsor the Dave & Buster's POPA Award for World Star Best Fight. World Star's not getting dropped. That's non-negotiable. It's part of the name.
Specifically, it needs to be a Dave & Buster's in Jacksonville, Florida, where there are no laws.
Jacksonville, that's the mecca. That's the mecca of where we would want the fight to happen. Obviously, but we can't be picky and we can't be like pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? If a local Dave and Buster's will allow us access and allow us to have a fight for the Popas, hey, you can sell tickets. We don't even need a cut, honestly.
I don't know if there's one in Rivergate, but that's also a solid location.
That's strong. If we could find a Dave and Buster's in West Baltimore, that's what we're looking for. It's the exact vibe. If that makes sense to you,
But all right, guys. Hey,
like a picture
thank you so
of those
much
CVS,
for all the nominees and
nothing inside.
Thank you everyone for coming out, listening. Thank you for the nominees. Congratulations, winners. We'll see you all again next year for the second annual Popas. Until then, have a great year.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.